Hi everyone, it's Sue and welcome back to Discovering the Art of Living. Now if you're new to my channel, click on the subscribe button below as well as the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content. Now it's kind of a dreary day here in Ontario. It's actually raining and melting away a lot of our snow, so I've been feeling kind of bah humbuggy. But today I'm hoping that our painting will put me back into the festive mood. Today I'm going to be paying homage to my all-time favorite artist in the entire world, Maxine Noel. Maxine was born in Manitoba, Canada, of Sioux parents. She spent her early childhood on her mother's reserve, but at the age of 6 she left to attend an Indian residential school. Maxine's early career as a legal secretary was soon overshadowed by her preoccupation with painting and drawing. She took a course in advanced design, where a teacher noticed Maxine's tendency towards linear expression and encouraged her in the use of shape and line to suggest movement. She learned those lessons well, as evidenced by much of her work today. Now, a couple of years ago, I was privileged to actually meet Maxine in person at an art gallery in Peterborough, and she was such a lovely, down-to-earth, sweet lady. And I just fell in love with her use of flowing lines and color and her depiction of strong Aboriginal women. So today, like I said, we are going to pay tribute to her by painting this beautiful snowflake painting. So you ready to get your crafty on? Let's get started. I've also included links below where you can buy Maxine Noel prints, as well as many products that have her beautiful paintings on them, so please check them out. Here's a quick look at our supplies. A complete list will be in the description box below. Most of the items are from Michael's and they're the everyday value. We're going to begin by taping our watercolor paper to a piece of cardboard with some painter's tape to hold it in place and to create a border. Make sure that you put the tape on and off your pants or the table or something just to get some of the sticky off so that it doesn't peel off your paper. Now we're going to take a look at our reference photo here, and I will put a link to it below in the description box as well, just to see the placement of the girl on our paper. We want her waist to be about halfway down, just so we can kind of get it centered. Now, using a pencil or a watercolor pencil, outline your figure extremely lightly. It's very hard to erase pencil off of watercolor paper without damaging it, so you want it to be extremely light. It doesn't really show up well here on camera. Now, if you do make a mistake, you can erase it. I would suggest definitely using a white eraser as I have here. Do not use the eraser on the end of a pencil. It is pink and it will leave marks on your paper and it will rip your paper. You can get these white erasers just at the dollar store, but they work very well. Now don't get discouraged. The face is the hardest thing to master. It took me a lot of attempts to get it just right. So I would maybe start with the body first and leave the face for last. Once you have your figure drawn in pencil, we're going to use a very fine-tipped Sharpie marker to go over all of the lines. Once you have your picture completely outlined with the black marker, let it dry for a few seconds, then take your white eraser and erase all pencil lines. We're then going to color in any solid black areas such as her hair with the black marker. Next, we're going to take a wider watercolor brush and we're going to do a wet on wet technique for the background. So I would work in sections since the paper does dry quickly. So moisten your brush, not too wet, and cover one section of the background coming as close to the picture as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Once you have it wet, we're going to use a variety of shades of blue, light and dark, to kind of dot on the paint so that it will blend into the background. Continue this method around the different sections of the background. If you do get a little bit of paint on your figure, we don't have to worry about it because we can paint over it and we will be going over it again in marker. Dry completely with the hairdryer before continuing. Make sure to put some darker shades where there would be shadow under her arms or at the bottom of her dress. And also, if you have too much paint on or you want to create a highlight, just use a dry paper towel to dab up the excess while it's still wet. Once your background is completely dry, get some clean water and we're going to use our smaller brush. We're going to do a wet on dry technique for the figure. You'll notice that the colors are a lot richer, so just be careful. You can always add more, but you can't usually take off less. So we're going to pick a shade of brown to do her hands and face. And again, the paper is dry. Next, use the darkest blue that you have to go over the lines and pleats in her dress. Again, the paper is dry, making sure to look at your reference photo to see any shadowed areas. Once you have your shadowed areas painted, just dip your paintbrush into some water and drag the color down to lighten it out into shade. You can add a little bit of lighter blue here and there. Once your painting is completely dry, we're going to make our snowflakes. Now this white watercolor does not show up very well, so you could use a gouache watercolor, which is an opaque watercolor. I just didn't happen to have any on hand, so I'm going to use white acrylic paint. I squeezed a little daub on a piece of wax paper, and I'm going to use just a regular toothpick to make little snowflake shapes around my painting. Again, when you're finished, dry completely with a hairdryer. Once your snowflakes are done and completely dry, go over everything again with the fine tip black marker, including your hair. This will just make your painting pop. Make sure when you're drying your painting at the end that you go over the taped areas very well with the hairdryer to help the tape release, otherwise it will rip your paper. So gently peel back away from your painting your green painter's tape and reveal your beautiful painting. Now don't forget to put your initials at the bottom, and because this is a Maxine Noel design, we want to pay tribute to her. So in the bottom I wrote Snowflakes inspired by Maxine Noel. Enjoy your beautiful winter painting. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and in the comment section below, let me know what other types of videos you would like to see in the new year. And if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content. See you next time on Discovering the Art of Living.